Brains! Alright, I think it's better to spare you my non-existent musical chops. Servus Freunde, my name's Jimmy Cage, and what's better than a horror movie? A horror movie that is set during Christmas. And what's better than a horror movie that's set during Christmas? A horror movie that's set during Christmas that is also a musical. And on top of that, it's also a coming-of-age comedy. Anna and the Apocalypse, directed by the Scottish filmmaker John McPhail, is a fresh genre mashup that can be best described as a combination of High School Musical and Shaun of the Dead. And up until the halfway point, it was pretty fantastic. Anna, who is just about to finish school, lives in a sleepy town of Little Haven. She's your typical teenager who just had a semi-serious dispute with her father, because instead of directly attending a university, she plans to travel the world for at least 1 year. To pay for it, she works at a local bowling center with her best friend John, who is also in love with her. She's friends with Lisa and Chris, who can't take their hands off each other, as well as the outsider Steph. There's also this arrogant douchebag boy Nick, who she wants anyway. And then there's the head of school, Mr. Savage, who pretty much despises anyone and has strong dictator aspirations. It's all very familiar, but presented in a neat way. For once, all the actors are glowing with passion, and secondly, it's a musical and there are a lot of songs in it. Oh, and of course, there's also this minor detail of a zombie apocalypse that's breaking loose. But before that really kicks in, we already got 3 songs about the life at school, hopes and dreams, and one very horny and surprising Marilyn Monroe type one at the school's Christmas show. One might describe the songs as rather trivial, but the lyrics are actually quite charming because they sound exactly like those young people would talk or sing in this case. In general, this feels like a very young and up-to-date spin on the zombie genre. And once the shit really hits the fan and the zombies take over, we are treated with the film's best mashup of those different worlds. Imagine the opening sequence of the 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead, where Sarah Polley's character, also named Anna, is trying to survive on the streets of her neighborhood while everything around her is going to hell. Only with the difference that our protagonist is listening to some music and singing and dancing through the streets without even noticing that there's something wrong. It's a wonderful, blissful sequence, and Anna isn't alone, because her best friend John is doing so as well, and when they finally meet up on the local cemetery, they suddenly realize what's going on. This sequence combines all the best elements of the film: fun and energetic performances of the 2 leads Ella Hunt and Malcolm Cumming, a joyful song, some nice comedic ideas, and a bit of splattering zombie action. From here on, the film revolves around those young people trying to survive the outbreak and also trying to help their friends and family members. But while there are some genuine fun ideas and timely references, which reminded me of the playful, fresh approach Shaun of the Dead had to the genre 14 years ago, the film also went downhill from here for me. All of its momentum and heart gets a little bit lost in the kind of sloppy put together second half. The songs are not as good anymore, one scene transitions rather awkwardly into the next, important and I think interesting events are happening in the off, and the characters don't come together and don't progress the way I hoped they would. One could say that it undermines certain expectations, and there's even an early song about this not having a Hollywood ending, but I thought they wasted a lot of potential with certain narrative decisions and the way those were handled. For me, the best characters got a bit sidelined, and instead the focus shifted to those who weren't nearly as interesting, which was a shame because even though all of them are rather archetypical, and that's totally fine for such a flashy and light coming-of-age comedy, they were also charming because of their flaws and the heartfelt performances of those new-coming actors. Another problem is that the filmmakers aren't able to bring anything new or exciting to the zombie horror element in the second half. From a certain point onwards, it seems like there weren't any new ideas, or maybe it was also due to the low budget, and they kept on slashing through them in the same old manner again and again. At times it's gory and fun, and also a bit surprising of how explicit it gets, but while there are several victims, it's also never really menacing and, more importantly, all that emotional. Anna and the Apocalypse is a bit all over the place when it comes to its tone, and while Shaun of the Dead had a lot of heart and genuine emotions, Despite it being funny as hell, John McPhail's film struggles to find the right balance, and in the end it falls a bit flat and disappointing, especially after that great first half. And while Ella Hunt gives a strong performance and she's also one of the best singers in the film, her character is a bit too ordinary and there isn't really that big of an inner journey that she goes on. Overall though, it's still quite the entertaining movie and a neat change of pace for the zombie genre. And you know me, I always like me some musical flavor. So in German I'd say, Anna and the Apocalypse ist leider nicht ganz so apokalyptisch gut, wie die erste Hälfte noch verspricht. Die Mischung aus Coming-of-Age-Komödie, Musical und Zombie-Horror macht zeitweise verdammt viel Spaß, geht aber gerade zum Ende hin nicht so ganz auf. I give Anna and the Apocalypse still 7 out of 10. It's more like 6.9, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Anna and the Apocalypse. And also let me know what is your favorite zombie comedy. And also don't forget to check out all the horror related stuff we have for you this month. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.